It was said that the gods of the ancient world lived outside time and space, on a different plane from our mortal existence. They were thought to be unreachable. Well, in the hopes of catching a glimmer of divinity, the ancients established hallowed places, a sacred tree or a mountain, a holy temple or a city, which they believed existed in both spheres, sort of like a window to heaven. And so the people traveled to these holy places on holy days, believing the divine and humanity might overlap for one reverent moment. Luke takes pains to communicate that this story, this God, this mingling of divinity and humanity are altogether different. The Creator is arriving here to our muddy, dusty, physical, emotional, beautiful, and terrible world. Carefully noting the time and place of birth, Luke clarifies that God's birth interrupts a particular event, the Roman census, in a particular place, the town of Bethlehem, in a particular family, the house of David. Jesus is born into history to a specific woman, exactly here and exactly now. Now, we might gloss over these local details, but to Gentile readers, Luke's statements would be jarring. On this night, God does not come like the gods of old, on a cloud or a storm, his untouchable power barely visible. No, God falls into the arms of his mother, arriving on this earth the way we all do. For months she carried him. For hours she labored with pain and blood and struggle, pushing until God was born on earth among us. An infant, vulnerable, wrinkled and wet, exhausted from the ordeal and sleeping now, but soon to waken, howling and hungry. This is Luke's unbelievable news. The true God came near to us, physically, tangibly, in a way that we can see with our eyes and touch with our hands. God arrived in a village we could walk to during a year we can remember. Divinity took on flesh in a mother's womb, interrupting a marriage, a night, and a village like no other birth. We no longer meet God in sacred places and spiritual spheres, but here on the ground, in the dirt, in our families, in flesh and blood. It's a shocking idea, even for us, so many centuries later. There is no longer a separation between sacred and mundane. Our messy daily lives are exactly where God is found, where God is at work. And this is a God we can touch. Take some time to read and reflect on Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 7, considering the details Luke gives us. Why is this significant? Why does it emphasize to you about God? Well, this is it for week 3. We have one more week to go in our Advent journey. I hope to see you live or online tomorrow morning as we worship this God who came to be among us.